Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel and to this new chapter, which is hopefully the last one in the build of the Dumas Hurricane, donated by Raymond. So the last chapter I was building the wing. What I have to do now, I have to put on the markings. This is the stabilizer and the elevator, so it will be the same approach to that. I also have to put on the markings, or the camouflage markings, onto the fuselage. As you see, I've got one layer of tissue, but I don't have the green tissue on it. So the steps are going to be to figure out what shape I have to put. It doesn't have them on the plan, so I have to figure it out from the internet. Cut out the shapes on the tissue and basically put them on with the water glue mix. So that will take a little bit of time, which is going to be entertaining. And then other small bits and pieces will be, so I want to do the landing gear, even if it's not needed, because it'll be just be for show. And I still have to connect in the ailerons. This is the other one. The ailerons no, it isn't, it's this one. The ailerons I still need to connect and put on the control horns and things like that. So quite a few bits and pieces that have to be done, so it'll take a bit of time. And then the final thing will be assembling and gluing the whole thing together. So that's going to look something like this, with the tail long and the markings. So that's the plan for the video. So follow along on this one, and let's see how it goes. And here we have a bit of the visible progress. So I started to put the green tissue over the brown tissue to do the markings. I'm kind of doing it kind of freehand a little bit, like looking on the internet for some pictures and seeing how to do it. What I do have to bear in mind is that when I do the fuselage will come on here. Let's see if I put it on and I don't break anything. And also there are some, I think they're called like fairings or something like that, which are some card that I need to cut out and somehow to connect the fuselage and the wing in a nice shape. So then actually the markings will actually go across that. So what I might do, I might then do the fuselage markings in the rear part of the fuselage, maybe the nose also, then bring the whole thing together, glue it together, and then continue with the markings. So it's going to be a little bit of a combined process of markings and assembly. And other things that I've done the more control horns. I've lost one because I'm so clumsy, so I probably have to make another one. But anyhow, the control horns for the elevators, for the aileron, the elevator, and the rudder, they're pretty much ready. So I'll also process those and come back with more progress. So finally an update, and I must admit that it's taking me time because putting the tissue somehow, I have the feeling that I'm destroying all the nice work because it's all wrinkly and not at all nice. I'm not sure I've shown already the ailerons, and I've put the tissue. I still need to split it. I've put on the hinges on the ailerons but haven't glued them. I'm not showing you. Here's one of the ailerons, and as I have to split the tissue, make sure that they move properly. I think this one I've done. So this one I need to make sure we have enough clearances. I put it there so it focuses, and I'm hoping also it's enough movement. This one I still have to split. And what else? I've also been doing a bit of the fuselage, which is not easy, I would say. I'm struggling a little bit, and that's why I'm postponing it a little bit. But anyhow, I think it's pretty much as done as I'm going to do it before I put the wing together, because the next step would be to glue the wing in. Now I'm going to explain to you more things also. As I wasn't so motivated to do the tissue, I started to do the landing gear also. So that's the landing gear legs. I didn't find them in the kit. I think they don't exist. So I just took some wood, and I traced out the shape for the wheel pants. And I've got there the horns also for the moving surfaces. So that's something that I'm going to put aside. And then the other issue, or the biggest issue, is that I've started to connect the ESC. I don't know if you remember, but I had here an ESC. It was a Fly Sky, I don't know what model. It was bigger, it was probably better. I took that one out and I put it into the little glider so that I could fly it. In the meantime, I bought another one which is cheaper, and I was kind of happy that it was cheaper. It's still a 6-channel, but I had quite a lot of trouble to find a way to bind it. And even though I did manage to bind it, I'm struggling with the calibration of the ESC and maybe even other problems. So let me show you the problem, and I'm not sure how I'm going to overcome this one, or if I just have to live with this one. So it's already bound, so I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. So I'm turning on the transmitter. I thought there should be a little red lighting here, but I can't find it. There, now. So it's bound, and if I put the throttle, let's see if you can see this. I'm like 1/3 up on the throttle. Okay, now I have to arm it. Okay, I go down, armed. It has a bit of a jerky movement at the beginning, and then it seems to go. Not very stable, and now all of a sudden it stopped on its own, as if it's pulling too much current or something. It just stops. Again, I arm it again, and let's see if it holds out now. Not even that. So with this setup, as you see, it doesn't. Now I've got it full power, full throttle, and on its own it stops. Sometimes it would run for a while and it would stop if I would move some of the control surfaces, right? So I've got there, let's see if you see it. So that would be the rudder, and this would be the elevator, and sometimes it would just be running. Let's see if I don't put it at full throttle and then down, and then I can move them. But if I move it to full throttle, then at some point it gives up. Now it just gave up on its own, it's on full throttle. So I'm not sure what the problem is. So it's a bit of a demotivating step. I don't know if I can fix it. I probably have to pull down the little glider and put the other receiver on. This one is an FSR6B, which might be for cars, not for aeroplanes. I'm not sure. I can't find even the manual online. So I might have to change the receiver and see if I can actually get it to work. If I do get it to work, then I can order another one of the other models. So that's then the next battle that I'm not enjoying that battle so much. The electronics and the tissue are still the weak point for me. Building the wood is fun, tissue and electronics not so much fun. So next step, pull down the little glider, take out the receiver, try to rebind it again on this one, and see if it behaves well. So anyhow, just wanted to give you an update. In the meantime, I'll probably do the landing gear and things like that. That keeps me a bit more motivated. There's some more visible progress. Anyhow, those are my troubles so far. I'll keep you posted. So unfortunately, not too much progress. I also realized that it's going to be 2 weeks since I post an update, and that's not really good. I think it's the longest time I've gone since I started the channel a couple of years back. What I've done, I've gathered the courage to pull down the lid, and I've changed the receiver. Here's the receiver from the lid, the one that originally was on the Hurricane, and it seemed to work well. At least when I was doing that test, it was working well. I've taken the other one off. I've paired this one up. I found again the code that I need to use, like the protocol I need to use to pair it up, but I have not very good results. Let's see if you see there. I've got it now paired. Everything is connected up. I'm going to give a bit of throttle, a little bit still. Okay, now it's connecting. It armed somehow. I go back down. Should be armed. Now I'm going up again, and it starts, which is good. Not regular, and then it loses power. Then again it seems to go through the arming process again. So throttle down, throttle up, throttle down, and it just does that little bit. It only starts to move like halfway up with the throttle, if that. I'll arm it up again. I have tried to calibrate the ESC, and you see that's all. When I do full power, that's all I get out of it. So it's having the same problems as with the other receiver. So I'm starting to think it is not the receiver issue anymore, and I'm not sure what the issue can be. There are, I think, two things that can be the problem. One is that the propeller is pulling too much amperage. Is it amperage? Whatever, from the ESC, because it's a 3-bladed propeller. I don't think there's much of a difference there. At least they should be able to take it, even if it might not be ideal. Maybe the 2-blade prop would be better, but it is a bigger diameter, the 2-bladed prop, so I'm not sure. I don't think that is a problem. The only other possibility is that the ESC is not the right one, or it doesn't have enough amperage, so when it pulls a lot, then it actually shuts down somehow. So as I mentioned, this is pushing me away. I'm hitting a bit of a wall here with motivation, so I do have other things ongoing, but this is not encouraging me to come back to the table to pull things apart and try to make them work, because I don't understand what is going on. So I think the next step is going to be to maybe take the needle down again, rip out the ESC, which is a bit of a pity from there because the needle does work quite well, and try to connect everything up with the ESC from the Lidl, which is a much stronger one. I think that one is a 30 amp. I think what I have in here is an 18 amp. I'm not sure. I don't know if I can see it actually. Probably somewhere there. So I have to check if I can do that. So again, this might take some more time before I manage to assemble the whole plane together. So as I said, hitting a wall, but I'll somehow climb over the wall, because we don't want to give up, right? That's the whole point of this. And a bit of an update. So I've got here the receiver hanging. I've taken out the ESC, and one thing that I did do, because I'm using the ESC that that Ray sent, I had to adapt the connectors to the battery, which now I've lost, to the connectors that are here. So when I was taking it apart in a bit of a clumsy way, I did realize that probably my connections were not very good. So now I have a new suspect. It might not be the ESC, that it's not strong enough. It says an 18 amp, I did see it, which I think should be more than enough. So it might be now the gauge of the wires and the connection. So the next step is going to be, and probably need to go down to the store to get some of the connectors, these bullet connectors, because I can't reuse these because they're very nicely soldered on. Again, maybe thicker wire. I think I do have some thicker wire, and try to redo this connection again. So that's going to take time, because I'm not sure when I'm going to have time to go to the hobby shop and get the connectors. So I'm going to leave it here. Then at least let's see if I have time to post something this week, and I'll keep them updated on the next video. So I'm not giving up, not a success, bit of a failure, bit of a setback, a couple of setbacks actually. So battling through these, and as always, thank you everybody for watching and for following along, and I'll see you next time.